Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Promising Young Woman. Promising Young Woman is a 2020 dark comedy thriller that follows Cassie as she lures young men into taking her home under the guise that she's too drunk to function. However, they soon learn not all is as it seems once she gets back to their place. But as we learn, nothing in Cassie's life is as it seems, even for us as the viewers, as she is working through dealing with the tragic events of her college experience. And things take quite the turn when she rekindles old relationships with college classmates, giving her an opportunity to right the wrongs of the past. Now, I have been so excited for Promising Young Woman. That trailer with that orchestral cover of Britney Spears' Toxic, oh, it blew my mind. Plus, this cool revenge thriller about the Me Too movement just is right up my alley. I was pumped. Then it was getting so much hype coming out of Sundance as we worked through this award season. I love Carey Mulligan. I could not wait to finally see this film. And ultimately, I did really like Promising Young Woman, though there is an aspect that kept me from absolutely adoring it. But let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, Carey Mulligan is fantastic. Oh, she's so good in this role. I love the voice she's got going on for this character particularly. It was just such an alluring character choice that worked. But she doesn't oversell anything here. Every line delivery is just perfectly handled, and I think Carey Mulligan honestly turns in one of my favorite performances of her career. It's not one of her big flashy roles, maybe, but it is just so effective in delivering what we need. Plus, I loved her best friend at the coffee shop, the owner of the coffee shop. Oh, was fabulous. Jennifer Coolidge, I didn't even know she was in this movie until I started watching, and she's wonderful as always. Really, our entire cast delivers what needed to be delivered. And I think the first two acts of this film are perfect. They are stellar. The social commentary is delivered in ways that makes you laugh in that dark comedy type of aspect, but also makes you really angry. It had my blood boiling with these characters because, yes, they might be just a tad exaggerated for cinematic effect, but the scenarios are very much rooted and shelved into reality. That you know these people, you've met these people, you've seen these people, and I'm sure it hits even harder if you're a woman. You know these nice guys and all that bullcrap that was presented from the men, particularly of the first two acts. But what I also love is that we loop women in, and that internalized misogyny aspect of women being complicit in other women's pain. And it's really done very, very well. It's exciting. The moments where she is confronting these men and the buildup of this relationship that's happening, everything about those first two acts is perfect. And I would be a fool not to talk about this soundtrack because it is amazing. Oh my gosh, every single song selection, every placement of the song is pitch perfect. I mentioned that orchestral version of Toxic. Well, it's placed at the exact perfect moment in the film. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I freaked out when the scene was happening, but all of the songs selected for this movie were perfect and certainly added to the atmosphere. The costumes were great. The wigs, oh my gosh, were fabulous. The look and direction of this movie was perfectly stylized. I really think Emerald Fennell, with her directorial debut on this one, does a stellar job as a director. This is a beautifully handled film from that director's chair. From the pacing to the camera work to the stylistic choices made, it's a very well handled film. And it is certainly one that made me think both about the subject matter, believing women, and the traumas that society places on women, but also just about the ending, which we're going to get to in the negatives. But it certainly was an ending that had me just sitting and thinking about what I just watched. So it was effective in that manner. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Promising Young Woman? Well, quite literally, all of my negatives come in the third act, particularly the second half of the third act didn't work for me. So I can't say much more because we're obviously talking about the ending of this film. But the choice that is made when we finally hit the climax of this film in that third act didn't sit right with me. So while I think Emerald did an amazing job with the direction of the film, I think the script itself left much to be desired because I think the film went down a very weird middle road. There were two directions I would have accepted much easier with the film. A more conventional and fulfilling ending, or a more bleak and dark ending. Either one I would have accepted and taken in and really thought about and had pushed this over the edge as a stellar film. Unfortunately, the movie takes a weird middle ground that first of all lost its teeth, which was a shame. And then, from a screenwriting aspect, lost its logic. Now, a lot of the film you could go back and really analyze. How does this work? How are we doing all this? However, it's not until we get to that third act and post climax that you really see the logical flaws front and center. They reveal themselves in plain view, and that's part of what really left me cold with the ending here. It didn't have what I think was the desired effect on me personally. And it's unfortunate because I do think that the decision made and then the subsequent ending, the finale of this film, does hurt the overall product a decent amount, unfortunately. And that's such a shame because everything up until that point was 10 out of 10 amazing. So at the end of the day, I did really enjoy Promising Young Woman, and I'm looking forward to watching it again to see if I gel with the decisions made toward the conclusion of this film a little bit more. But ultimately, it's a stellar film that devolves into a very messy conclusion that hurts the overall product and kept this from being one of my top films of 2020. However, it's still certainly worth a watch. I think it brings up a lot of great commentary and discussions that we continue to need to have. There's a lot of wonderful dark comedy aspects to the film that land beautifully. The soundtrack is amazing and the performances are all top tier. So, once Promising Young Woman hits theaters on December 25th, I highly recommend giving this a chance and making up your own mind on that ending and letting me know, did you feel the same way I did? Or did that ending just cement it as a top tier film? So I say give this a full price ticket. I think it's certainly worth the watch. But please, if you do choose to go watch Promising Young Woman or any other film on Christmas Day, make sure that you are following all city and state guidelines for health and safety, as well as specific guidelines set forth by your theater staff. So, that was my review of Promising Young Woman. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Promising Young Woman? And what is your favorite revenge thriller? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!